Capricorn, hi. So this is going to be a reading for the month of June 2026. And I'll do the reading for you and then I'll close it off with a oracle card. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Cappy. What do we got? Alrighty, the overall energy for the reading, the King of Cups. We've got an open heart. Well, that's always good when you start the reading like that. Open heart, everything fine. Okay, let's see what... Okay, let's see what's going on here. Starting off the reading, you get the Magician crossed by the Seven of Cups. You're manifesting. You're in the middle of manifesting and things are coming through. But like it's a lot of things, so I can't really decipher what's going on here. Like from your manifestation, I see energy coming back to you. Okay. We'll see what that means in a minute. In your focus, the Five of Cups, something may have happened. I don't know if recently, because I still see the energy present. Something happened, something a little down, a little not great looking and feeling, but like you're kind of going through it or dealing with it somehow, because the energy is definitely present here. In the recent past, the Chariot, you felt like you were riding that wave like no tomorrow there for sure. So kind of like feeling at some point that you're on the right track there. In your strength, the Eight of Cups, that's the thing. Your heart is open. Are you open to it? Because there seems to be a little bit of, not disconnection, but almost like in order for this manifestation to come through, you would have to have your heart open. So it is. I don't think you're paying much attention to that. Like, I don't think you're giving it that much importance in the sense of, oh, that's why this is happening because, you know, this is open. And I feel like you're kind of being caught up in all sorts of other things instead of staying focused on connecting to your heart there. So it's almost like, yeah, your heart is open, but it's lost in translation or something. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of discrepancy there with that one, but we'll see what that is. In the immediate future, the Six of Wands, you feel really good about something. There's almost like a feeling of an achievement of some sort, and you feel happy about it. Supporting this reading, the Page of Pentacles, you do have that openness to you, though. In terms of whatever's coming through here, either it's coming from something that you've learned or something that you're learning as you go. It's like this openness to, you know, when you're in school and you're so interested and captivated by a certain class that you're like, oh my God, yeah, I want to learn everything. I want to assimilate everything. That's kind of how you're showing up here. In the energy that surrounds you, and you may not be aware of it, the Knight of Cups. There's a lot of awesome energy in this reading. I feel like, I don't know why it feels like it's not directed with purpose. It's almost like allowed to run loose, which normally it wouldn't be an issue, but like for some reason it feels like there's the need for more direction with it, you know? It's like, oh my God, everything's awesome everywhere. And there's a bring it back home type of a unseen force to it, though. I don't know. Like it's not going in a specific. Let's say you have a purpose, right? A goal. You have a vision for, hey, this is gonna go this way. And most of the times when you have that, most of your energy is focused in that direction, right? This is like all over the map, and it's great energy. That's the thing. It's great. But it's like it's not directed necessarily. But it's a little weird, I gotta say. Not necessarily in a bad way, though. We'll see. The energy in your hopes and fears, the Six of Swords. Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff happening, though, for you. Like, all at the same time or something. You're definitely putting some distance between yourself and something, someone. And that's kind of, I think at the front stage here. I think that's where your focus lies. And for the potential outcome, the star, that's where it's getting directed. That's where you're like, okay, this is my purpose. Okay, so finally a purpose shows up, a direction, something. All right, let's clarify. Let's do the King of Cups. But girl, you've restricted me to this corner. For the King of Cups, you get the Two of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Five of Cups. Okay, so you are dealing with the situation with some aspect of your life that is not looking or feeling pleasant necessarily, but you're definitely in there. And it's like there is love attached to this aspect of your life, but there's also a lot of doing at this moment in time. So there's a lot of stuff happening in regards to whatever this experience is or was, but I think was but still is, as far as you working through it goes. It's not clear. It's not clear. Like it doesn't have a conclusion yet, because I feel like the experience is not done. So I think that's why it's kind of like I'm in the middle of it. I'm dealing with it. Okay. Let me do the Magician. Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Six of Wands. Yeah, there's good stuff coming your way. That's the energy I'm seeing. There's good stuff that you're manifesting. You know, whatever new chapter has opened up for you, you entered it with the sense of openness, a sense of manifesting, a sense of drawing in nice things. And I feel like they are coming in slowly but surely, you know. You might even start seeing some of those things. I see a lot more acknowledgement in the future, but I think you're already starting to see the good things you're drawing in. For the Seven of Cups, you get the Strength card, the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it's definitely a new chapter that opened up for you, you know, recently. And it's not an easy one to open up, because it's not an easy one to close, the one you're leaving behind. You're still in the middle of closing that one. So you're not done there. That's why it's not so easy to just kind of throw yourself in this new and be like, oh my God, I'm completely free of everything in this one. Not yet, but you're already in the middle of, you're as much in the middle of the new one as you are in the middle of closing the old one. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Let me do the Five of Cups in your focus. The Fool, the World card, the Wheel of Fortune. You're kind of excited here, though, to close off the old one. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for change. I'm ready. Now, I'm not sure if you're being impatient with it as well, but there's definitely excitement over the cycle you're working on to close off, to be closed off. Let me do the Chariot in the recent past. The Seven of Wands, the Justice card, the Three of Pentacles. You know how, let's set you up on a trip, right, with... Let's say you're going on a magical trip. Everything's perfect there. Everything's right. Everything is fucking magical in there. And then you have this friend that's with you there. And normally you're okay with this friend. Well, not on this trip. It just doesn't match the vibe. It's like, oh my God, everything would be amazing if this individual wasn't here. So that's kind of how you're giving me that sense of, while you acknowledge that, hey, I'm on the right path here, there's an energy there. And I'm not sure if they're a friend or whatever they are to you. That it's like, but they don't belong. Like, they need to get off my right path here. You know what I mean? So it kind of feels a little bit like that. It's half and half, though. Because part of you is like, but they should be on this path. But no. Not right now. So I don't know. There's a little bit of at least over there in the past, there's definitely you jumping on board here onto something that feels like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then somebody's already there and you're like, okay, yeah, they should be here. But at times you're like, I wish they weren't here. You know what I mean? So let me do the Eight of Cups. In your strength, you get the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Hermit. You're not very much connected to the journey of you staying connected to yourself. It's not, it's there, but it's not there. So as you're experiencing all of this that you're experiencing, right? Closing down cycles, opening up new ones, and you being in all of this at the same time with things happening all the time, it feels like maybe because things are feeling, at least, that they're happening, like bam, 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 it almost feels like you're somewhat disconnected from yourself through this journey. So it's like, yeah, you're in the journey, but you're not really in the journey. You know what I mean? You're definitely, this is you. It's your journey. You're the main character here. You know? But it feels like you're absent from it. Because of this little disconnection that I'm seeing here. And it's not intentional. I feel like you think you're connected to yourself. You're like, nah. But there's almost like the sense of there's no time for that. There's no real time for that because things are happening. I gotta be there with everything. Yeah, but like how are you gonna be there with everything, you know? I don't know. For the Six of Wands in the immediate future, you get the Ace of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Swords. Oh, so many swords. Okay, so this achievement is one more step away from something, basically. Because this is a process here that you're pointing at. This is me taking action towards something else away from this that I'm leaving behind. Okay, so this is your acknowledgement over that. Like, okay, I did it. You know, I made one more step, one more day, one more step away from whatever you're trying to get yourself away from. Okay, let me do the Page of Pentacles. In the supportive energies, you get the Moon, the Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. Ooh, there's a dormant process of grief here at play. Dormant because you keep it in the way in the back there. Like it's definitely happening. It's there. It's at play. A loss, an energy of loss, a grieving process. And it's there. You're just keeping it contained. You're like, okay, I got this. It's not almost showing up as if it's not affecting you, but it is, because I see you acknowledging it, but also acknowledging that you're kind of keeping it down there, you know, kind of like a sleeping dragon, and it's like, shh, shh, don't wake up the dragon, you know. Okay, that's interesting. Let me do the Knight of Cups. For the Knight of Cups in the hidden energies, you get the Three of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, you're putting your energy out. That's why it felt a little random, a little like, you know, with no direction, this energy, because in this case it's deceptive. So you're putting a lot of great energy in a particular direction, and it feels like it's deceptive because there's something surrounding this energy right here which has to do with other energies. So it could be a friendship, let's say, right, where you're showing up as, oh my god, I'm here with everything I got and the best intentions in the world and blah blah blah. There's something deceptive surrounding this dynamic because somewhere in there someone has ulterior motives. Like, they're not just showing up, you know, from a place of honestly feeling like, oh my god, yeah, I want to be here in this friendship. They're showing up as that, but not because they feel that, because they're looking for something else. So I don't know who that is. It could be you, it could be somebody tied up to you. So while on the surface this shows up as a genuine friendship, let's say, I'm giving you the example of a friendship, it's not really that. There's an ulterior motive at play. I'm going to be using you for this period of time by calling you my friend, but I need something from this. That's why I'm showing up like this, you know? So I don't know what that is. I have no idea. I'm just seeing deception over a certain place in which you place good energy. For the Six of Swords, in your hopes and fears, you get the Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups. You're missing something important here. You're missing something important in this process. While I get your excitement over the new things that are opening up, and you're starting to see them and you're starting to feel them, and as any human being on this planet, you would be like, fuck yeah, I want to hang on to that because it feels good. There's also a grieving process at play. You're leaving something behind too. And I see you acknowledging that it's there. That process is there. It's happening. But you're not avoiding it either because you're acknowledging it. Are you kind of putting it to the side and whenever it hits you, it hits you? Is it kind of like that? Because I see you seeing it. It's not, if you didn't see it in what I see here, I would say, okay, you're avoiding this. You know, you're doing your best to just keep yourself busy to avoid this. But no, there is an acknowledgement on your end. So you are seeing it. So then what is up with that process? That's what I mean when I say you're missing something. Because it's like, it's not, you're not dealing with it. You're not, you know, you're just putting it to the side for now. So again, the sleeping dragon, and then you kind of weave your life around it or something, but like quietly so that you don't disturb the beast, you know? I don't. Okay, maybe you're saving it for later. It's like, okay, I know it's gonna hit me, okay, but like we'll do that later. Because right now there's too many nice things going. Okay. For the star and the potential energies, you get the potential outcome. You get the Devil, the Death card, the Queen of Wands. This is where you take it on like big time. You're like, okay, we're doing this. We're dealing with this. But like, not only are you taking it on like that, like fully acknowledging, like the beast to the side. Okay, no, you poke it until it wakes up. It's like, wake up, I need to deal with you right now, you sleeping dragon. So it's almost, you give off a sense of confidence, a sense of excitement even. Like, I can't wait to deal with this. After you kind of, you know, swirled around the sleeping dragon, you're like, okay, it's time to wake up, dragon, you know? So it kind of looks a little bit like that. Okay, so you are tackling it. Maybe you're kind of, I don't know, compartmentalizing. You're like, okay, well, I want to feel good for what I have here, making me feel good, and then, you know, when the shit hits the fan, I'm ready for it. But like, let's leave it to the side for now because it hasn't hit the fan quite yet. But when it does, I'm there for it. Okay, maybe you're doing that. I don't know. But let's see what the universe has as a final advice for you. The Five of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Emperor. Okay, so there is a commitment here, and it comes in with conflict. I'm assuming that's whatever this commitment is part of that cycle that you're trying to close off. Maybe it's the conflict side of it. Maybe, I don't know. There's a little bit of, I see commitment, I see the other energy involved in it, aside from yours, and I see a little bit of resistance to whatever's going on here for you. So you might be butting heads along the way, you might not agree on everything here, you know, so it's there's a little friction in there. It's not necessarily feeling great for either parties involved. But that's what I'm guessing you're kind of dealing with there in that chapter that is, well, you're trying to close off. Okay, let's do Wisdom of the Oracle. Nope. Chop wood. You chop wood. 42. What do you mean chop wood? Okay. Essential meanings. Being grounded in everyday experience, humility. the oracle's message. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness, or the dragon, so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delight in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Taking your own attention from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for realizing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you even closer to what you seek. Okay, so maybe there's a purpose to why it felt so everything and then not directed. Okay, gotcha. But anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.